Ladies and gentlemen, now the moment you've all been waiting for, the Best Man Speeches. Brought to you this evening by the beautiful Ben Skidmore and the astoundingly beautiful Johnny Hamilton.
It's the Milky Bar Kid.
By Jossie Pops.
Warning, this book has been rated PG-13 and may not be suitable for all listeners. It is loosely based on real-life events.
The Milky Bar Kid is strong and tough.
The Milky Bar Kid was strong and tough, and only the best was good enough. The creamiest milk, the whitest bar, the good taste that's in Milky Bar. Apart from the almost identical resemblance, Andrew bore nothing at all in common with the polite, intelligent, helpful Milky Bar Kid, which is where our story begins. In the quiet, sleepy village of Conlig lived two amazingly talented people. A jet-setting, world-beating, motor-racing daredevil Paul and his stunningly beautiful, intelligent, entrepreneurial, petite wife Irene. They shall be referred to as Paddy and Irene from now on. Having avoided the concept of kids for as long as physically possible, putting off their ABCs for G&Ts till the very last second, they had to step up. Too many friends had joined the baby train, and the last stop was Conlig. In 1981, the crack parental unit was sent to hospital by a military doctor to give birth to a child that they had been carrying for the past 9 months. These parents promptly escaped with their child from a maximum security hospital to the Conlig Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as parents of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire Irene and Paddy. Andrew was born on the 12th of March, and for the sake of the story, we shall call him Specimen A. Specimen A was a lovely child with a thick head of blonde hair and dazzling blue eyes. From day one, he had all the nurses wrapped round his finger. Irene and Paddy were over the moon, although slightly worried that Paddy's swarthy skin and dark features just somehow didn't tie in with Specimen A. The new family of 3 and attack dog Shane returned to the Conlig Underground. Everything was going swimmingly for the 3. They had ticked all the baby boxes: sleepless nights, random tantrums, unexplainable smells, not leaving the house all weekend. They stuck this for 1.5 years before Paddy and Irene had a brainwave. The best way to fix a problem is to create another problem. However, this time they were right. In 1983, the crack parental unit was sent to hospital by a military doctor to give birth to a child that they had been carrying for the past 9 months. These parents promptly escaped with their second child from the maximum security hospital to the Conlig Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as parents of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, if you can find them, maybe you can hire Irene and Paddy. Jonathan was born on the 13th of January. Specimen J was adorable, smart, strong, and generally all different kinds of cool. He had the swarthy skin and dark features of Paddy, which put his mind to rest. Specimen A immediately got to work. The devious brain of Specimen A had been hatching plans of global domination from the moment he first laid eyes on his baby brother. The pair became inseparable. Specimen A liked to think of them like Pinky and the Brain, with him being the brain, of course.
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain.
After a number of failed attempts at global domination, it forced them to turn their hand to something else. Apparently, playing in the back garden was the next best thing. Specimen A had loads of fun coming up with games for Specimen J, basically to try and test first to see if it was safe. 2 of particular note were as follows. Game 1. The Swing and the Concrete River. Specimen J had to run up the swing, strategically positioned over a path or a concrete river, whichever you may prefer. Make a leap of faith and swing over, landing safely on the grass on the other side. On paper, it looked perfect for a level 5 trained ninja, so up steps Jay. He sprints as fast as his 14-inch legs could carry him, leaps arms outstretched, clips the bar with both hands, and crash! Lands flat on his back on the concrete river. Needless to say, the next bit was not pretty. Jay doing his best sea lion impression while Coach A fans him down and pleads for him not to squeal. Game 2. Dig a hole with sharp instruments and maybe we can reach Japan. Now this was something from a horror movie. Having escaped the grasp of Irene and Paddy, the pair armed themselves with tools from the shed. Jay chose a spade for himself, whilst A's weapon of choice was a form of rusty pickaxe. The children went to work. Specimen A barking orders, Specimen J putting in the hard graft, as usual. This had health and safety problems written all over it. No high-vis vests, no hard hats, no traffic cones. This was raw. Just two teens digging a massive hole for no reason whatsoever behind a shed. It escalated quickly. A got passionate about the dig. J upped his game. A seen his intensity and matched it. Whether on purpose or by accident, to this day we don't know. A stray pickaxe was flung back with such ferocity, it smacked square onto Jay's head. Thud! Silence. Dazed and confused, a slight nervous snigger could be heard. Specimen A looks to Specimen J.
Are you alright?
He asked. Specimen J raises his hand to his head, rests his palm on top of it.
Yeah, is it bleeding?
Asked Specimen J. A's face drops.
Don't tell Mum.
He squeaks, then pleads, then grabs Jay as he erupts in a fit of manly tears and begins to sprint up the garden.
Don't tell Mum I did it.
Do not fear, all's well that ends well. Jay appeared to have more sense knocked into him, and Mum was never told. As Specimen A and Jay got older, they kept the rivalry going. They had also developed a strange thing of not calling the other by their real name. This was partly due to the parents not introducing them properly at birth. Jay became Joss, short for Jossie Pops, and A became Ang, short for Ang. This would last a couple of years, then Jay became Punion, and A became Gimpert. This would last a couple of years, then A became Hammer Time.
Hammer time!
And Jay became Junior. If I was a betting man, I would almost guarantee they still change each other's names like the seasons to this day.
Stop!
Next came the most important stage in any young man's life. Choosing their football team. Joss had come of age first and decided to like football, as all the cool kids did. He did the standard pick the team at the top of the league which had the best colour approach, and was fortunately landed with Liverpool. Spiteful Ang wanted to support a top team which wore blue and who despised Liverpool. Unfortunately, he had to settle for the mediocre Everton. From then on, Ang and Joss would dress up in their full kits, shin guards and goalie gloves, and refuse to wear anything else. Ang developed an unhealthy obsession with Everton's keeper Neville Southall, as Joss did for Ian Rush. This soon became one of Ang's many future career paths. Which leads me on very nicely to the next subject.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Ang's first career choice was the Ghostbusters, which in fairness was a bit more realistic than Joss's choice as a Teenage Mutant Hero Turtle, but all the same, very silly. He had a fancy dress outfit made, which to him was the real thing. He had also Paddy's Volvo estate, fully painted white and fitted for sirens. Only kidding, he'd done that last bit in his mind. Proton pack at the ready, he would patrol the house with Joss, who most likely had to be Slimer. He would search for the gatekeeper whilst instructing that you never ever cross the streams. The craze lasted for another 20 years. Filling out his UCAS form, he simply couldn't accept that universities didn't offer courses in ghost imprisonment studies. Andrew liked school. Andrew attended school. Andrew studied hard. Unfortunately, there's not much really else to say here. Moving on swiftly. After putting the Ghostbusters and Neville Southall dream on hold, Ang was forced to turn his focus to something a bit more real. Join the army, they said. See the world, they said. Or more precisely, the ATC, Air Training Corps. Ang loved the ATC. He met a lot of new friends, went on many trips, but best of all, joined their flute band. Without a musical tone in his head, he managed to master the drum in a matter of weeks and played to a sold-out gig in front of a full church hall and also numerous marches. He did try to practice in his room, but soon got bored and went back to hunting ghosts. Next came the second most important stage in a young man's life, realising that football is crap and rugby is actually the game of champions.
Come the day and come the hour, come the power and the glory. We have come to answer our country's call from the four proud provinces of Ireland.
Finally got his true independence when he got his first sticky, or for our English folk, chavvy car. Paddy had the joy of sharing the car with Ang, which wasn't too bad, that is, until Ang decided to lower the car, add big wheels, a loud sound system, and best of all, a huge no worries sticker to the rear windscreen. Now, I can't speak for Paddy, but everyone has some sort of hippie in them. But when you had to drive into your sensible job as a chief driving instructor with people throwing you the peace sign, he wasn't best pleased. Maybe though, Ang did have a point. Life is too serious, and once in a while it is worth slowing down and taking in the magic of life. For further information on this topic, please see my other book, Kick Those Feet Up, Life is Actually Pretty Amazing. Available at all good bookstores. Alternatively, see Blue Enso Mind and Motivation for head coaching sessions.
Don't worry.
Ang's relaxed approach seemed to carry on through his final years in Northern Ireland. After a night on the tiles, he came home to find the parental units were still awake. Not wanting to blow his underage drinking cover, he stealthily sought a tree in the back garden to spy on their movements. Unfortunately, this ninja had one too many sakis and found himself awakening to the sound of birdsong the next morning. However, he did evade capture, sneaking into the house and into bed. Then the dreaded day came. Specimen A broke Specimen J's heart. Just as Joss was finally warming to Ang, only really now understanding that everything he had ever done for him was out of brotherly love and being overprotective. His own personal bodyguard, always there to motivate him to achieve his best, i.e. global domination, helping him to take the good out of all situations, free lifts, and the occasional underage off-licence visit. Ang dropped the bombshell he was going to the University of Huddersfield to learn ghost imprisonment studies. Andrew, after all these years, really was the Milky Bar Kid. His easygoing attitude, his love for life, always bringing the bad guy to justice, a true hero in his own right. Joss was gutted his partner in crime was leaving him. You never really make new heroes in life, you just remember the old ones and take them with you forever. And like that, he's gone. Now, I'm not a fortune teller, but all good Berts meet beautiful Fionas. Call it a hunch, but from numerous scientific studies, it is proven that the holder of the name Bert will meet a stunning woman called Fiona. These Fionas tend to have a really caring, loving and social side. They never miss a night out to celebrate anything and everything. Bert and Fiona will share many amazing adventures together and eventually will fall truly, madly, deeply in love with one another. Marriages is certain to happen, followed by wonderful children. In 2016, the crack parental unit was sent to hospital by a military doctor to give birth to a child that they've been carrying for the past 9 months. These parents promptly escaped with their first of many children from a maximum security hospital to the Bangor Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as parents of fortune. If you have a problem, no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire Bert and Fiona.
That's all, folks.